Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2, an amazing smashing performance by the Red Devils. I am absolutely buzzing. However, I do agree with what Bruno Fernandes and Ruben Amorim said in their post-match interviews. Where the hell were these performances in the past 3 and 4 games? Without any further ado, let's analyze. Alright, so let's get started. Now, every video that I make, I try to bring you a story. And of course, the story of this game is that of a Manchester United team that has progressively grown into the game tactically, led by a little boy, Lisandro Martinez, a boy with a dream, who decided to use this Anfield, Liverpool versus Manchester United platform to showcase his masterclass in how to be a libero. And so basically Manchester United, from a tactical standpoint, started the game by having the same issues that I have highlighted in many videos before, most notably in the video against Newcastle. In other words, the fact that we are light in central midfield. Now, unlike the game against Newcastle, Ruben Amorim did not actually try to fix this issue by bringing in an extra man in midfield, but rather he actually relied on the Manchester United players, and this is kind of like a key point of how Ruben Amorim wants to play, stepping outside of the boundaries of their individual roles in order to plug the tactical holes that the team might be having against different opposition. Basically, in other words, Ruben Amorim requires his players to be intelligent, to be proactive, to make the right decisions on the pitch in order to give his 3-4-3 system balance. And here, let's start with the bad, but I'm going to show you plenty of the good, so don't worry. Here, this was fairly early in the game, 13th minute, 14th minute, where the limitations of this 3-4-3 shape are again going to be highlighted ruthlessly by Liverpool. We were lucky that they did not actually take the lead this early. But here we have Gravenberch, who is in this situation, who is being marked by Hojlund over there. But actually, I'm not sure whether the center forward is actually the best player to perform this role. In fact, with our 3 defenders right here, it should be one of the 3 center backs that actually steps into midfield, potentially with Mazraoui tucking in into a more central area in order to create an overload and to provide an extra protection in the central areas. Of course, this didn't happen. So actually what happens now is, as you can see, one quick run from Gravenberch, and then he is into space. And you know, at this level, half a second, a split second is enough for a talented player like Gravenberch to execute this pass. But then, of course, Liverpool did not score. But this was a very good move. Now, how did Manchester United adapt tactically to that? Well, actually step in Lisandro Martinez. In my opinion, probably his best performance in a Manchester United shirt. Absolutely impressive. Great game from Lisandro Martinez. So here, as you can see, he's stepping into midfield because Curtis Jones is actually that extra man in midfield. So he steps in, making it easier for Kobbie Mainoo to just step into this space right here and win the ball. Sometimes it's been Ugarte. Both Mainoo and Ugarte have provided the legs that we've missed against Newcastle with Christian Eriksen and Casemiro. But of course, Lisandro Martinez made their job much easier. Now, this didn't work all the time. And this is an area where we need to improve. For example, in the sequence, as you can see, both Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo are committed. They are man marking, Gravenberch and McAllister, no problem there. However, as Konate goes for the long ball towards Curtis Jones, as you can see, Maguire is on him, because he knows he has to do it, but he's too slow. It's not just a matter of pace. It's just a matter of not anticipating or not being confident enough, because let's not forget the fact that this is not how Harry Maguire is used to playing. Now, this is not a criticism of Harry Maguire. I mean, he's one of the few players in the squad that I highly respect, because everything he's been through at Manchester United and how he put his head down, worked on himself, tried to improve and got back into the team. And now, in my opinion, he completely deserves his 1-year extension. But this is just to highlight the fact that the Manchester United players still need to get used to what Ruben Amorim is demanding of them. It's a highly demanding system. Not everyone can play. It takes time. And this is another example of why that is the case. But of course, Harry Maguire and De Ligt have been solid for the most part. I think De Ligt, in the first goal that we conceded, he was probably responsible. But Harry Maguire has been solid. But Lisandro Martinez has been absolutely excellent. So here in this situation, he's actually just tagging Curtis Jones right here, just making sure he doesn't have time and space on the ball. Here's another example. Like, look, you have to understand the mindset, the mentality of Lisandro Martinez right here. He's that, like, give no quarters kind of mentality, he's like a Navy SEAL. He always keeps an eye on Curtis Jones right there, and he's ready to pounce whenever needed. However, here we do see a problem, is that Lisandro Martinez cannot actually go this far back, because this far wide, sorry, following Jones, because then he leaves this hole wide open. So the Manchester United players have to adapt to these situations, in that every player can follow his counterpart up to a certain point, and then just like a relay race, you just hand him over to the next player. In this case, for example, Dalot should have gone aggressively on Curtis Jones, with Lisandro Martinez then in turn marking Mohamed Salah. Now, this is something that I've highlighted against Manchester City, where it was this guy and Lisandro Martinez, Ugarte, of course, Lisandro Martinez against De Bruyne. And that worked. So that means they are able to do it, but it's just something that we need to start doing a little more consistently. So, of course, had Dalot gone, then we would have probably had more defensive solidity, and probably have prevented Liverpool from keeping the ball as much as they did. But Lisandro Martinez, of course, was not just being aggressive in the press, but also his reading of the game was absolutely amazing, just world class. And he completely restricted the space. You know, that's a busy zone. I mean, Luis Diaz would go there. There's Mohamed Salah, who is, you know, by clear mile, probably the best player in the Premier League right now. And then, of course, you know, Curtis Jones and Trent Alexander-Arnold would go there. So he was really busy and he did very well. Now, of course, this would not be a Scarlet Report video if I showed you all of that, but I did not show you how that has led to, of course, Manchester United scoring. Long ball, and then, of course, this aggressive, proactive defending style that Lisandro Martinez has shown throughout the game has come into fruition here. And so he wins the ball, and then he gives it to Bruno Fernandes over here, who's placing himself, casting himself in the role of the playmaker. Now, in the video that I've made, where I talked about how Manchester United do not score as much as they should, I talked about that relationship between playmaker and runner into space. The Manchester United players get into each other's way a lot, and that means we cannot create a lot of chances. Every time a player like Bruno, who's a great playmaker, has the ball at his feet, people around him should make runs. So here are a few noteworthy things. So here, Lisandro Martinez, first of all, his determination and drive into insisting on getting into this danger zone. Even though he is a center back, he might have played it safe and just said, well, okay, my job is to defend, so then I should probably retreat into this space. But no, he insists, I want to stay here, I want to make something happen. The other thing is that even though he's moving, McAllister is not following him. This is a smart player. He's an experienced World Cup champion, okay? So he's not following him. So now Bruno Fernandes has to find a way to find Lisandro Martinez. And then here he dribbles with the ball, which actually drags McAllister out of his cave. And then Bruno Fernandes can lay this pass, this through ball, into the path of Lisandro Martinez, who just for some reason has just channeled his inner Diego Forlan. Oh my God, what is this finish? How does he have this in his locker? It's almost unfair. That was a beautiful, beautiful goal. And of course, it's a beautiful goal in the way that it has been executed, with that absolute smashing, beautiful finish of Lisandro Martinez. But as a tactical analyst, I appreciate what has led to the goal as much as the goal itself. And in that same sequence, I mean, just a few instants ago, Lisandro Martinez was also able to just execute this beautiful, wonderful recovery against Mo Salah, allowing us to just keep the pressure on Liverpool. And of course, the other reason why we were able to keep the pressure is because in the second half, for some reason, and I'm sure that this is a Ruben Amorim tweak right here, we were playing way more of these long goal kicks, but are not just, you know, just clearing it into row Z. There's actually madness to the method here, because Onana is targeting the big man forward, you know, Hojlund, with Diogo Dalot always making these runs into space. A lot of people talked about how Trent Alexander-Arnold has been below par defensively in this game, even though, you know, defending is not really his best strength. But Dalot is not given enough credit, because in this game, even though Dalot has not been very good in the past few games, I think in this game he was quite dynamic on the wing, and he's really made it quite difficult for Trent Alexander-Arnold to defend against. Now, that was the first goal, but of course the second goal was just as important, because that's what allowed us to equalize. And of course, this man right here, Garnacho, has been extremely instrumental. So here in this sequence, I'm gonna show you the ugly and the absolute wonderful from Garnacho, because this is a boy that I believe in. We all should. I know that he's making a few mistakes as a youngster. Maybe his entourage is not really providing him with the right environment, but this is definitely a talented kid. So here we have a counter, and he's making the right move. Nosair Mazraoui, highly talented player. I mean, we've grown accustomed to his high standard. Should have executed a much better pass here towards Garnacho. He misses the pass, and then now Garnacho reacts the way Garnacho would react. Just arms into the sky. Oh, why? Why is this happening to me? However, immediately after, he composes himself, and then he gets involved in this counter press. Here, just hounding Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then he wins the ball back. Now, he wins the ball back, and then he's got only one thing in his mind, and it is, let's attack. And so he positions himself into space to receive the ball. And this is, of course, what leads to the second goal. But here's the thing. Garnacho has the ball, but of course he has no one to pass the ball to. And so here Hojlund and Amad Diallo will execute another masterclass in off-the-ball movement. In that video that is entitled, Why Can't Manchester United Score?, I talk a lot about off-the-ball movement. And here in this sequence, this is just an amazing world-class play from these Manchester United youngsters. So here what happens, first of all, Hojlund makes the center-forward run in between the two center-backs. Good. But what I like about this, what truly opens up the space, is the fact that the run is not the same between Amad Diallo and Hojlund. Hojlund is going straight into this area, and Amad Diallo is coming here. This opens up this space right here where Garnacho can find them, and then Amad, oh beautiful Amad, what a smashing finish. That was a great goal. Amazing goal. And of course, the boys were amazing. I mean, this was one of the best Manchester United performances in the past 3 seasons. This was just absolutely amazing. We controlled the ball. We created chances. We made Liverpool, who is probably the best team in Europe currently, look absolutely ordinary. Then a lot of people, I mean, Gary Neville himself, he talked about how scary it was to go to Anfield. No, not for these guys. What an amazing performance. And then this guy right here, Ugarte. I think I need to make a video about Ugarte, a dedicated video, because he's really someone who has impressed me a lot since he's come to Manchester United. Again, instead of focusing on defending, no, we're going for the kill. Bruno Fernandes again sees Xerxes. But here I want you to focus on Maguire, because Maguire is really making a center-forwards run. This is amazing from a center-back. This is amazing. Look, through ball towards Xerxes. Look at this. Just that diagonal run to position himself into this space in the penalty spot in behind the defenders who are just going, forward. And then Xerxes sees him. Xerxes always looks for the pass instead of shooting towards Maguire. And come on, he should have crucified them. He should have crucified them with this finish. That would have been the perfect ending to an absolutely amazing performance from the Red Devils. All right, so what have we learned from this game against Liverpool? We learned that Ruben Amorim is absolutely insane because he has chosen the nuclear option from day one. No second chances. It's my way and my way only. And if I may talk about Erik ten Hag here for a minute, who I'm sure that Ruben Amorim respects. I mean, Erik ten Hag is a big deal in world football. In my opinion, he lost himself a little bit when he compromised his footballing principles in exchange for short-term results at Manchester United. And I think that's probably where he kind of lost it a little bit. And I think that Ruben Amorim has seen that. And he said, I'm not going to make that mistake. And I also think that Ruben Amorim, unlike Erik ten Hag, has the luxury of having people like Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada, who, don't be surprised if they told him, listen, Ruben, it's shit, okay? So we want you to implement your brand of football, whatever it takes. So yeah, this season is a write-off. Progressively, we are going to phase out the deadwood and we're going to bring you players who are more suited to your style, but don't compromise. We want to play the Ruben Amorim way. And maybe he's got that protection, which gives him that extra confidence to implement his ideas. But I'm all for it. Because again, what we saw in this game is that when things don't work out, I always ask myself, it's the point of this channel. Is it the manager's fault? Maybe he missed something. Maybe, he overlooked something. Maybe he underestimated the opposition. Or is it the players not performing their roles? I'm sure that every time it's kind of like a mixture of both. But in this game, it was clear that it's night and day when the centre-backs, and in this case, I think all of them, even though De Ligt probably, you could say, was responsible for the first Liverpool goal, but I think other than that, he was pretty solid. Maguire as well was very good, but then Lisandro Martinez was absolutely imperial. And so when the centre-backs performed their defensive duties the way it's supposed to be, those two midfielders don't look like they are, outnumbered in midfield. And it gives the team a little bit more control. So this is a case where I can confidently say we need time. And progressively and consistently bring in players who are suited to this style of play. And also, I just got to talk about Garnacho for a minute here. I think you may have read or seen that he deleted or deactivated his Twitter account, which in my opinion is an admission that he is distracted. And it's an admission that he needs to do better, not only as far as playing is concerned, but also as far as just behaving and his professionalism and his demeanor. And the fact that he's responding right now by being productive and by working hard on the pitch and providing tangible results, to me is the best response. Much better than what Marcus Rashford has chosen to do. And this is great. And if Ruben Amorim can actually change the mindset of these players, because in each of our players, there's actually a big player, especially someone as promising as Alejandro Garnacho. And I think it would be a masterclass in man management if Ruben Amorim is able to turn a player who probably many Manchester United fans have completely given up on in the past few weeks into the wonder kid that we all know he can be. So extremely positive vibes from Manchester United right now. Beautiful performance from the Red Devils. I hope that you've enjoyed this tactical analysis video. Until next time, cheers.